sardines. I want you all to actually interact a little bit. I can listen to myself talk for the next 25 minutes. Y'all are going to like it about as much as I do, so I really would like for you all to interact. So I do need you to get your Bibles out, but it'll be about 10 minutes before we get the Bibles. So we're going to talk about the traits of a good neighbor, what it means to be a good neighbor. So first and foremost, here's where we interact for a second. Warning, I'm going to call it. There we go. What is a neighbor?
Someone who lives next to you.
Somebody lives next to you. Okay, first of all, just be respectful of one another. I don't need y'all to raise your hands. You're good. So somebody physically that lives next to you. What else?
Mr. Rogers.
Oh, no. That's who I actually called up second, believe it or not. Mr. Rogers! All right, there we go. I don't know. So, what else? What is a neighbor?
Person that lives in the vicinity of.
Okay, somebody that lives in the vicinity of your house. All right, we're good. What else? Who else is a neighbor? Anyone who's not your family. What was that?
I want some.
Sitting there dodging my chapsticks. All right. Who gets like a good neighbor? State Farm. My insurance agent. I went to my insurance agent. Hey, I'm doing a class on being a good neighbor. And I said, State Farm. Hey, free chapstick. All right. So as Dustin said, people who are not necessarily in your family. Okay. Who else?
Someone about your skin color.
Okay. Religion, skin color, things of that nature, things in common. Everybody! There we go. Oh, look at that. Deflected. All right. So, it's the people that are around you. If you take a look around you right now, the people around you here and now today are your neighbors. It's the people who are within your sphere of influence. Now, that can be people you know, people you don't know. It can actually be your family as we get older. And yes, believe it or not, us old people in this room were at one point young, and you get a chance to influence your family. Because you're going to hear a concept in life, and some of you may have already heard this. Way leads to way. What that means is your experiences here now today are going to shape your future, whether you like it or not. Your experiences today shape who you will become tomorrow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That's what makes my experiences in life, my lens, different than yours. Because I've had different experiences in life that led me to where I'm at today. And take a look at things like a job. You're going to ask me, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a lot of things. Firefighter, EMT, smoke jumper. I wanted to do all the fun stuff. Did that for a little while. Did the firefighting thing, EMT thing for a while. Came to college, and my life's completely different. The job I have today, if you were to ask me 20, 25 years ago, yes, I'm getting old. If I was going to be doing this, I'd have laughed and said, not a chance. Not even in my hemisphere, not something I would even remotely be interested in doing. But my experiences in life led me to the point where, when they said, hey, can you do this? I said, sure, I'll give it a try.
What is your job?
What is my job? I don't know, I still try to figure it out every day. I'm responsible for everything. I serve the areas of what's called facilities. So the folks that are in that team take care of all the buildings operations, like Molly's dad is a big part of that team. And takes care of all the, we're a city in a city. We've got over 7 million square foot under roof. We have our own pipe infrastructure, gas infrastructure, water infrastructure. We have everything. And we take care of that, all the way to public safety. So if the police, fire, if it blows up, goes wrong, turns sideways, falls apart, gets shot at, it's me. That all comes to an area that I'm responsible for serving on a daily basis. So if you're asking me if I was going to do all of that when I was your age, like, no, I just want to be a firefighter. Now I'm responsible for 17,000 people, about 7.3, 7.2 and change million square foot on the roof, about 1,000 acres of property. It's a lot. But it's fun. It's challenging. It's exciting. I had no clue I'd be doing this. And most adults that you'll talk to probably would admit that they don't know what they're going to be doing 5, 10, 15 years from now. There's very few people who go into a career and stay in that career forever and ever. Amen. Most of us change and evolve. But that happens because of our experiences, and that happens with you as a human being today. You are here today, some under force and derision, some because you want to be. That just depends on your age and your mindset here. But the things you talk about and do today are shaping who you will become. Now, some of you, that's like a blank slate because you're all just it's completely blank right now. Some of you all are like, hey, I'm going to take this lesson, I'm going to take it and do something with it. And some of you are like, man, I'm like 30 million light years past the lesson he's talking about today. And my mind's already churning, I'm thinking about how to be better and do better. Fantastic. Any way you go, the choice is yours. Way leads to way. Okay, so the question is, or what my goal for you is, sorry, I gotta go through my notes while I get my battle rhythm down here. My goal for you is to learn how to be a better leader, and what that actually means, and what you can do with that. So I want you to know more about what goes on around you, and I want you to have a better ownership of the place and where you're at today. And by ownership of place, I mean your place in humanity. So when we're talking about who a neighbor is, my thoughts are not just the person, not just the immediacy of somebody living next door, but it's someone that you can count. Being a neighbor is someone you can count on at a time of need, and your neighbor is someone when they can count on you in their time of need. Someone who watches out for you and vice versa, and someone who genuinely cares about you. I need for us to get a little bit of common ground here. How many of you all love to feel awkward, scared, and lonely? Okay. How many of us feel awkward, scared, and lonely from time to time? Okay. And if folks are really being truly introspective in the self, even adults admit that. They should admit that from time to time. A lot of them don't, but they should admit that from time to time. None of us wants to be scared. None of us wants to be lonely. And none of us wants to feel awkward. Sitting this close together is awkward. Squirrel. So none of us wants to feel that way. But we all do feel that way from time to time. And the other thing we want is we all want to feel loved. We all want to feel safe. And we all want to feel important. Can we agree on that? Okay. You actually get to choose how you make other people feel around you. You get to choose whether somebody around you is going to feel scared, lonely, or awkward. And you can make them feel that way. Or you get to choose where somebody around you is going to feel loved, whether someone around you is going to feel important, and when someone around you is going to feel safe. You get to choose that. You have that power every day with every interaction, to include in this setting right here and now. To include when you go to lunch here in a little while, whenever your lunch break is. You get to choose to interact with folks and make them feel one of those ways or all of those ways. Knowing that you yourself don't like to feel scared, awkward, or lonely. Why in the world would you want to make somebody else feel that way? But we do that, don't we? Let's see. So when we talk about Christian qualities of being a good neighbor, this is where I need you to open your Bibles for me. Y'all ready? Because I'm going to call on you if you don't volunteer. Who wants to read? Okay, who does not want to read? Okay, let's go with the who wants to read. You want to read? All right, if you're anything like me, please give me a hot second to find it. If you call me, ask me where Matthew is in the book of the Bible, I'm in the class, and you catch me off guard, I'm like, it's in there somewhere. I get it. We're going to get there. All right. So, what's your name, boss? Orange shirt?
Sawyer.
Sawyer. I'm going to forget that, but I'm going to try. All right, Sawyer.
You're going to try to forget it?
Depends. You may influence me to want to forget it. Or not. Oh, I like that. Sawyer, turn to Romans 12, 16 through 18. And just hold it for a minute. Who else wants to read? All right. Can I get you to read John 13, 34? Who else over here wants to read? Pop hand up. Molly, can I get you to 1 Thessalonians 5, 11? We're going to start there. And I need to figure out how much time I've got left. Holy guacamole. I tell you what, this is going fast. All right. So, Sawyer. I'm so sorry. What did I give you? All right, Romans 12, 16 through 18. We're going to talk about the qualities and the traits of a good neighbor. Start me off.
Be of the same mind toward one another. Do not set your mind on high things, but associate with the humble. Do not be wise in your own opinion. Repay no one evil for evil. Have regard for your good things in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as such as depends on you, live peacefully with all men.
Thank you. Live peacefully. Live in harmony. Some of you actually you said a lot right there of what it means to be a good neighbor, be a good person to somebody around you. What the overarching premise is for you to live in harmony. Live at peace with others around you. Because remember, you're not just showing others you. You're showing others God in the way you live your life and the way you interact with others. So living in harmony with others allows others to have a chance to see God working through you in their lives. Who did I give John 13:34? Anybody?
A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another.
All right. You know we're commanded to love one another. I know you guys have heard this, right? We're commanded to love one another. Is that easy? What if the person stinks? Okay. Is it easy to love them? All right. I'm going to talk about my experience. Sometimes it's not so much. Some people can push every button you've got and then and get on your everlasting nerve. You know adults do that too? You know adults feel that way too? Yeah, we do. People can push your buttons, and the more you go through life, the more people you interact with, and the more your buttons may get pushed. We are commanded to love others. So even when we're having a bad day, a me moment, that opportunity where I'm having that woe is me, and I'm bringing up the world's smallest violin, and I'm playing it, even when I feel like someone is not treating me well, that's a choice how I'm going to react. It's your choice how you're going to react. Whether you're going to pay back evil for evil, or whether you're going to, I love this verse, heap burning coals upon their head, and you're gonna love them like they've never been loved before, right? But you want to do that in a good and meaningful way. Not a spiteful, vengeful, I'm going to pour love on you, so I'm actually going to love you so that I can show others God living through me. And did I get another one? 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Well,
Therefore, forgive each other and edify one another, just as we also.
all right. What Molly is reading is we're going to build each other. We're going to edify each other. We're going to build each other up. You all have a choice. You all have the power to, remember, make people feel certain, or give people the opportunity to feel a certain way based off how you interact with them. This is your chance to build others up and help make them feel important. Because again, remember, don't you like to feel important, loved, needed? You get to choose to help others feel that way about themselves. Who else wants to read? Bam! Go to Proverbs 27:10. I need two more. Go. Matthew 25:37-40. And who else? All right, Romans 15:2. When Proverbs get there, we're going to talk about serving our neighbors. Proverbs 27:10.
Do not forsake your own friend or your father's friend, nor go to your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor nearby than a brother far away.
All right. That tells us we need to be there for others. One, if you're having a bad day or they're having a bad day, don't make their day worse. But we need to be there for one another. We need to be there to serve others. We're going to talk just a hair more about that before we finish today. Matthew 25:37-40.
Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty, gave thee to drink? And saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or and naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and gave thee to thee?
I always appreciate those who can read King James Version. Bless your heart, you were a good person. What we learned through that, because I tried when I was a youth, up there, we need to welcome our neighbors into our lives. Doesn't necessarily mean your house, because some of us, we might be a little introverted and we don't necessarily want to have people over at our house, our physical home, but we need to welcome them into our lives, our metaphorical home, our bodies. Welcome them in and bring them into you. And then we need to seek the good of our neighbors. Who did I give Romans 15:2? Romans 15:2? Romans 15:2. It's Romans 15. I swear it was over here. I know it's over here. Romans 15:2. Go for it.
Let each of us please his neighbor for his good, leading to edification.
Oh, there's another verse on there. But we need to seek the good of our neighbors. We need to seek the good out for them. Okay, how many of you have helped your neighbors out before? People around you. Actually just done something good to help somebody out. At some point in your life, at least once. Okay, there we go. I think we can all agree on that. So here's what I want us to think about as being our 5 pillars of being a good neighbor. And like with all things, sorry, I'm keeping my eye on the time because I did a really good job of running over. I did a little R&D with this research. You heard of research and development? I did rip off and duplicate. So nothing is new. We're all going to agree that this right here, the Bible, is the master instruction manual for our lives, right? In everything. Nothing is new under the sun, folks. It actually says it, but it's very true. Any of the issues you're having today, conceptually, are no different than issues that were had 5,000 and 6,000 years ago. They just look a little different. Yeah, technology issues today, but they're all rooted in the same human issues. Days York. People treated each other terribly 5,000 years ago. People still treat each other terribly today. People loved each other 5,000 years ago. People still love each other today. There's the basic concepts are no different. It just looks and feels a little bit different because our clothes are different today, our environment's a little different today. Technology evolves and it'll look markedly different 100 years from now than it does today. This is it right here. So, 5 pillars to being a good neighbor. First one, connection. Build a connection. And this is simply as easy as looking somebody in the eye, smiling, and saying hi. Especially if it looks like, yeah, okay, it looks like that creepy smell, like, okay. That builds a connection, all right? Over here today. You're my time. All right, so you're going to build a connection with somebody. You're going to smile, you're going to make eye contact, you're going to say hi. Because I don't guess I want you to raise your hand at this moment. Think of a time when you felt lonely. And this could be if you go to a public school and you're in the cafeteria for the first time, or when you go to college for the first time and it's a completely different state, different town, you know no one. You feel lonely, you feel awkward, and quite frankly, most people are begging for a connection. One thing about being a human being is all of us generally have these things in us, but we don't recognize that somebody sitting right next to us feels the exact same way, or feels a similar way that we do. Why don't you reach out and make them feel better? Because don't you like when people reach out and make you feel better? Or at least reach out so you have the opportunity to. So make a connection. Second thing, invitation. Invite them to do something fun. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. You can go everything as simple as a walk just to get together and talk, just to get together and be silent next to each other. If somebody may just need somebody to sit with them for a while. And then all the way up to, I don't know about you, but I love to eat. Anybody else like to eat here? All right, you bring food, I'm in. All right.
Donuts.
Oh,
Donuts.
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 You had like 5 less donuts because they sent me to get the donuts this morning, and most of them got. Now donuts, I'm like.
I can eat
Right
6
here.
donuts.
Right, man, the dangers of listening to all the things I'm like.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Chick-fil-A. Okay, there you go.
McDonald's.
Oh, who doesn't love McDonald's? All right, so, but invite them. So one, we're going to build a connection. 2, we're going to invite them. I'm losing control. I've got 2 minutes left. 3, celebrate. There's something really cool in helping others or celebrating with others. Somebody competes in a game and they did their best even if the score didn't come out as a win. Somebody competes and they did something really cool. They made an awesome touchdown. They did something great. Birthdays. How many of y'all like to get presents on your birthday? All right, secretly, how many of you want everybody to know when your birthday is so they can say happy birthday to you? And the rest of you are like, oh, man. All right. Most of us like when others pay attention to us and actually care just a little bit about us and take the time to get to know us. And what got brought up in the class earlier is a really good point too. It's not just celebrating the good things. It's remembering maybe even the bad moments in life. And that caused me to think of something. I had a police officer work for me. He's now retired long ago. And his daughter died. And I remember when his daughter died, and I actually plugged the date in my phone. And every year, I text him now twice a year. I try to text everybody that is on our team at least once a year if I can. I've now got like 287 people, 286 people I'm responsible for. But I plug them in my phone and I try to at least say happy birthday to them. Because most people like other people to know their birthdays are. But for him, I also text him his daughter's death anniversary. Because that means something to him. And he struggles with that. So at least twice a year, I'm making a connection. So think about those little things where you can celebrate with somebody or remember with somebody. The 4th thing, awareness. Look for opportunities to serve, to be a little selfless, and help somebody else out through their time of need. Whether it's when we were building this building, which is now actually starting to get a little old. When we were building this building, we had lots of people who came together and did things like install a playground, do the drywall, paint things. Look for opportunities to serve. And then last but not least, and probably what is the most important, be available. Being a good neighbor is being available to someone else when they are in need. And just being open to being there for them. So the 5 pillars are connection, saying hi, being nice, not in a creepy way. Invitation, celebration, awareness, and being available in their time of need. If we can walk away with an understanding of that in our lives, we will be a better human being tomorrow than we are today. So, amen. Any questions, comments, concerns? Molly, heads up. Bam. I'm out. You got pens.
Give me throw the pen.
Oh, the pens. I'm not throwing pens.
Can I go up there?
Walking in with a plank in their eye.
Cool.
There's a verse about that too. Is there any questions, comments, concerns?
Yes, please throw the pens.
No.
Can I get one now?
Can we get one?
Bear arms. Yes, you can have it. Here, I'm not throwing pens, but seriously.
Throw the pens.
All right. I will turn the lesson over to a more safe human being here. Guys, thank you all. You've been amazing. You've been fun. Appreciate you all. Be nice to other people. Don't be creepy. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.